Good afternoon. Welcome in this webinar. The previous webinar, we spoke about the benefits for you as a customer of enterprise agreements, how these solve challenges that you face with fragmentation in the licenses, right? You have hundreds or even thousands of Cisco devices, all with their own licenses and all their different expiry dates, and how bringing them into an enterprise agreement brings all those licenses into one single contract with one set of terms and conditions, with one expiry date, while locking in the price. So you do not get any price increases during the entire time of your enterprise agreement, 3 years, 5 years, or even up to 7 years. And of course, the true forward, which gives you the benefit of growing your business, having faster access to the innovations of software. And if you play this well, you can actually get, well, almost up to 11 months of free use of your licenses. But talking about using your licenses, one of the very important things is to actually adopt and use those licenses and how to activate them and start benefiting. To talk about that topic, I'm honored to have with me two subject matter experts from our customer success team. I'm here with Ranjit and Patara. Thank you for joining. Ranjit, could you please introduce yourself?
Hey, Steven. My name is Ranjit, and I'm part of Global Software and Services Sales Organization as a services sales specialist. And we are focusing on the new offers and transformative offers like SuccessTrack, CS Cloud, and Enterprise Agreements.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Patara?
Hi, Steven and Ranjit. My name is Patara. I am the SuccessTrack consultant here in EMEA. So I'm working with of course, the internal team, account manager, as well as our customers to really see the value of SuccessTrack and the CX Cloud.
Great. Well, I'm here really with subject matter experts to talk about the importance and the benefits of SuccessTracks. So, Ranjit, I've been in Cisco business for about 25 years. Yes, I'm that old. Yes. And I've been always selling and positioning SmartNets. And tell me, what's the difference between a SmartNet and the SuccessTrack?
Right, Steven. So you mentioned SmartNet, right? So it's one of our most successful support services program that we have. So what SmartNet is nothing but our reactive support model, right? So if there is an issue which you as a customer facing, then reach out to Cisco TAC. TAC will try to provide with the break fix support services for that particular issue. It could be recommendation to upgrade it, or it could be a replacement hardware which we replace it with different SLAs that we have. So it's a typical reactive support model that we provide with Smart. So what we realize that you mentioned about the enterprise agreement, our solutions are evolving with different kind of features, and what we believe and what we get a feedback from the customers that we cannot just be a simple reactive support model from a support services point of view. We want to bring much more proactive support model, and also we even need to provide some additional predictive insight and information to the customer, so that when the customer go through the transformation journey by adopting and utilizing those licenses, they get additional lifecycle support from services beyond the reactive support. We totally agree that we just need to continue with the reactive support model, which is DAC and providing RMA, but at the same time, we also provide some additional proactive insight, which will help the customer to transform and accelerate the success much more faster. So that's the reason we introduced something which is new, which is we are going to talk about today, which is SuccessTrack, right? So what SuccessTrack is all about.
Before you move on, I saw from reactive to proactive. I totally get that, but I also saw predictive. Is there AI involved?
Absolutely. So we want to use our AI ML capabilities, based on our experience from the TAC, and also we need to use some of the intellectual capital. We try to correlate that with the customer data and provide some predictive and preventive insight to the customer. That we're going to go through just briefly touch upon the CS Cloud demo. We'll talk about some of those features. Yes, exactly. We're going to use AI ML.
you're gonna demo as well?
Absolutely,
Ooh,
yes.
you're a daring man. All right, so we see here guided customer journey. So going from tech and RMA,
Correct.
been there.
Yeah,
Having access to expert resources. Okay,
correct.
we in the tech there's I would say that the smartest people in our industry working in
True,
tech.
true.
Now we
True.
go to contextual learning and insights and analytics. Tell me.
Great. Right. So you mentioned, so it's access to TAC and RMA is still going to be there, but what we are trying to do here is we are going to provide something called solution support TAC, which is beyond a normal TAC. So if you think about a complex solution from Cisco or maybe even with third parties, so if the call is coming to Cisco TAC, if I'm a solution support engineer, I try to pull in the right expert as and when needed, rather than we are asking customer to talk to different engineers or different resources, right? So we are bringing the customer to the next level of support model, which is solution support. And we are also bringing some expert resources as and when needed. As I mentioned about the adoption, right? So maybe providing with some webinars or one-on-one coaching sessions, right? And at the same time, we realize that, look, it's a lot of information that we're providing to the customer. There should be an opportunity customer to go through some additional learning. So additional learning opportunity through our learning tiles. And then again, the AI/ML that you mentioned with the insights and analytics tab, which everything that we are providing through a platform called CS Cloud, right? So essentially what Success Track is access to TAC and access to CS Cloud. And with that access to CS Cloud, you get expert resources, contextual learning, insights, and analytics. So that essentially what Success Track is all about.
Wow, I'm impressed. CX Cloud. I've heard of it. I've seen it on slides. I've never seen it.
Yeah, sure. So Fatara, do you want to share the CS Cloud and just briefly talk about what CS Cloud and different elements of CS Cloud?
Absolutely. So let me just pull the CS Cloud here. So here it is, the CS Cloud portal, Stephen, and thank you for that, Ranjit. I am on the CS Cloud demo environment, of course. So this is what it looks like. So at this point, I'm on the landing page. So a very quick one on the CS Cloud. Today, there are a lot of architecture that's already included in the CS Cloud platform. So what it is, the CS Cloud, to me, I would say it's the one-stop shopping, if I may say, or similar to, we call it a single pane of glass, right? As you can see, the main key ties here bring different value to our customers, to our audience today. So maybe the first one, I'll give the example. This is the campus network architecture. You will see we have the 5 key main ties over here. The first thing would be access and coverage. What is the access and coverage? Can you imagine maybe some of you or the customers, the audience today, how would you collecting the information, right? How would you get the visibility in one place of the overall install base in your network environment? This is it. This is what asset and the coverage can offer that to you. For the example, you see very quickly the 1,300, 1,000 and 1,400 items here in just one place, right? Aside that, you will be able to also see end-of-life hardware and as well as the software end-of-life. Just only one fingertips. You'll be able to see all of the information here. You'll be able to also extract it into the Excel sheet and be able to work across the different teams in your organizations. Again, the CS Cloud portal is really user-friendly for us and for all of our customers. Under each of the devices, each of device, you will be able to see the summary details, which is, I imagine, taking some time from you or your team to collect this kind of information and be able to see that in one place. You'll be able to see the hardware information in details. And The good things of the CX Cloud here is that you can open the case directly through the CX Cloud platform. Just a very quick, simple step. You'll be able to request the support from the CX Cloud engineers, expert, or requesting the RMA replacement. So
I have a question. So
Yeah.
in the tech we always had a follow the sun principle, right? So where the sun goes down, then that tech location closes. So for instance, I'm based in the Netherlands in Amsterdam, and if I want to make a tech call at let's say 9 o'clock in the evening, I get redirected to somewhere else in the world where the sun is up, and it's picked up by the tech engineer. Is that still the case here, or it's fully automated, or how does it work?
It is still the case here. I mean, in terms of how we support our customer 24/7, because, you know, we never know when the outage is going to arrive, right? Unfortunately. So the follow the sun support model will be absolutely the same. Nevertheless, it's easier for our customer to be able to open the case directly to the CX Cloud instead of using a different other portal. Again,
Great.
you know, high level on the software, and this is where the proactivity comes in, right? You can see from what Ranjit mentioned, you can see from the reactive approach, but then CX Cloud and the SuccessFact bringing as well the proactive as well as predictive approach. You'll be able to see the software and see where you are, when is the last day of support. So helping you to make a decision and take the action, you know, instead of waiting for the problems to be occurred. So this is proactive information that you can find already from the CX Cloud.
But hold on. When you say proactive, I would think that a device having a challenge or an issue would call tech already directly themselves, even if the engineer is not on site. Does it go that far? Is it that smart?
This is available, Stephen. You are absolutely right. Then it would go into, you know, into the insight, which is bringing complete intelligence of the AI and the ML together. Yeah, that would be a different functionality there. Ranjit, please add anything if I missed. Yes.
No, I think you're perfect. So, Stephen, I think the perfect question. So there's two different types of features available in CS Cloud, and you know the customer is buying SuccessFact. So Fatara mentioned there is an way to open a tag case. So basically, you know, you are a customer, you identify this 9300 is creating a problem, you want to open a tag case, you click on open a tag case. What happens is that it will open a tag case and also capture some of the basic information that tag engineer to keep on asking, you know, typical scenario, right? So what's the serial number? What's the software version running? What is the shortcut information, right? So basic information, we already capture that as a part of the process and put that in the tag database and run a correlation engine on top of it, right? So the reason I want to mention this is we call it RPR, Rapid Problem Resolution. Think about if the customer is using a traditional method of phone call or email, right? And if I'm a tag engineer, you're sharing that tag case with me, I will keep asking a question. Okay, give me this detail. Can you collect these logs and send that across to me? The back and forth can take good amount of time. What is happening here is that with RPR, we're able to capture everything, and you're able to share that with Cisco TAC, and there is a correlation running on top of Cisco TAC engineer. If I'm a TAC engineer, I'm able to troubleshoot that much faster. So reduce the time to open a TAC case, reduce the time to respond to you. We just want to make that it is much more faster. That's one feature, which is RPR. The second feature you mentioned, will you be able to open a tag case automatically? I think when we go through the Insights tab, there is something called automated fault management. So what we do is we try to capture some of the typical problems through the syslog analysis. So we capture those signatures. So let's assume there is a syslog signature we created for a high CPU and device crash, right? So the moment we see that kind of a trigger, system identifies that and go ahead and create an alert on CS Cloud. We can even go ahead and create a tag. If some customer doesn't like to automate a tag case creation, we can stop that. But if they like to do it, we can go ahead and open a tag case and capture the logs on CS, on Cisco tag database, right?
So really
those are some of the powerful
improving
features.
the time to resolution to come to the resolution of a problem much
Absolutely.
faster, and removing the burden and the challenge of collecting all the data and collecting all the syslogs and the error logs. Fantastic improvement. All right,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No problem at all. Sorry, Ranjit.
No, I think you can go ahead. I think I probably just summarize what assistant coverage, what I mentioned, right? Just if I may think that every customer say that, look, I do have the install base data, but what we are providing is a contextual information, right? Not just the serial number. How many serial numbers are coming up for end of support, end of life? How many serial numbers with the priority bugs that you need to address immediately? All these things with a couple of clicks and pull that in an Excel sheet or a CSV format, share with the relevant team. Think about the amount of time typically customer and operation teams takes to take this data, analyze it, and provide that to the relevant team for remediation. Everything with a couple of clicks, data is available. That's where we want to make that, because we want the customer to reduce their operational time and move that time to something which is more transformative. Again, like adopting to the solutions, implementing new solutions, or it's using that for some other purposes. That's where that we would want to use. That's where we will see the customers see the highest,
right.
the maximum value.
I'm sorry, but I have another question. That's how does this relate to, for instance, network management tools like Cisco Prime, which is end of sale now, but Cisco Prime, which a lot of our customers still have, and of course the Catalyst Center, formerly known as the DNA Center. How is it related?
DNA
How is
Center,
it connect?
Yeah, so we use DNS Center as a source of truth here. So we want to ensure that the existing controllers, it could be DNS Center, it could be Epic, or it could be Indosai, whatever the controllers that Cisco has, we are trying to pull the telemetry from that or using that as a source of truth, right? And we correlate that with Cisco's intellectual capital and put that AI ML machine learning on top of it and provide the contextual information to the customer. So consider this on an overlay on top of existing controllers. Or even if the customer doesn't have any of the DNS Center or any of the things, we do have option. For example, from the campus network point, we can install something called CS Cloud Agent that will talk to the individual switch or wireless access controller and pull the information from that and transfer that into the CS Cloud from a visualization.
All right, so I heard you say adoption and how adoption is important, and I see here the adoption lifecycle tab. What is there? What's this?
Yes, absolutely. So the adoption lifecycle tab is also one of the key tab here. I would say, imagine when our customer purchase the product, right? Sometimes they don't know what would be the next step or the recommendation. So they might, open a case and look from a different area and location and so on. So the objective of the adoption life cycle through the CS Cloud is we want to work with our customers, right? We want to accompany our customer from the beginning of their journey, which is going to be on board up until the end of their journey that is going to be optimized. So in the adoption life cycle, each of the architecture do provide different use cases, right? Let's say I'm going to pick one of the example here. So it's a campus network segmentations. What the adoption lifecycle gives, it gives the recommendation checklist. You can see very quickly of where you are in terms of the adoption percentage. For the example, here's 26% completion. So each of the state would give you the checklist recommendation, so you can check one by one, and you'll be able to see as well when it's completed. So, your team will move on to the next step. Now, each of the states gives you plenty of information as a resources, whether it's going to be accelerator, one-to-one coaching between your someone from your team and also the Cisco expert engineer, or ask the experts. It's a webinar for one Cisco expert engineers and many people from the customer side. So each of the segment do give rich of guide resources and also all of the information. So for example, over here, it's a different format. Customer can be flexible and control their own time when they are going through the adoption lifecycle trainings. It could be specific on the use cases. I imagine, they would need to get the information or looking from library elsewhere, but the Sales Cloud already provide them at where they are in terms of the use case with the relevant material, the information, whether it's going to be e-learning, remote practice lab, ask the expert, even the certification preparation. And again, they
Wow.
can come to, even if they are at the onboard state, they can already do the checklist on use state, right, at what they are available to them.
So I want to understand. So the success tracks are guided programs to help our customers on the why. Why did they choose our software? Why did they choose the solution? What is it that they want to achieve? And then they can do those checklists. They go a guided step through each step to get to their desired outcome. And if they want to play around or test something, there's even a sandbox environment, a safe environment where they can play with it and test with it and see if it's meeting their requirements. Do I understand that well?
Yeah, so Stephen, yeah, you rightly understood. So basically, as you mentioned, it's why and how, right? Why that particular feature is available, and to understand the why, and then how do I utilize a feature? How do I implement the feature? How do I move from one step to another step? So we give a high-level project plan, kind of a thing, as a checklist. It's not a project plan; it's considered as a checklist, and then any kind of resources to make the customer to move from to another step. It could be as Patara mentioned, could be a coaching. It could be sometime, getting an access to the lab and test it out, because we have a guided labs available, right? So, or it could be just going through some CCNA, CCNP level training, or it may be some best practice document. So all those resources at one place. Think about it, Stephen. If you are in a situation, if you don't have something like it, you may have to go through multiple resources. You may still not get all those things at a given point in time. You may take time to even research the document or information, then you go through it and then implement. Right now, what we are trying to do is give it everything at one single page. Just click go by one. Everything's up. We keep generating additional document and videos as well, right? So that's basically answering why and how the customer can consume these features and implement it over a period of time.
So how technical do I need to be as a user? In other words, can I do it?
Yeah, so it categorizes into different buckets, right? If you are a deployment engineer, then you may probably go through the remote practice lab or CCNP level. Or if you are more of a design engineer, maybe it is more of a one-on-one coaching session coming from the accelerators or webinars that we conducting with the customer. So it all depends on what level, what's the different kind of use cases that you want to deploy, what stage are you in, right? So that's where Patara was showing the resources. So you can pick up the resources, maybe just the videos, only at the onboarding stage, only the practice lab, and things like that. It's very easy to select it and go through those resources at any given point in time.
And so let's say now I'm a very smart CCNP network engineer, but I'm doing something new here, something I've never done before, and I'm stuck, and I need help.
Yeah.
How can I get help through CX Cloud?
Yeah, Fatara, you want to show how to get access to, like, for example, accelerator, because that's one of the case we can just go and request for a resource, right? So we can click on one of the accelerator.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me just click into maybe one accelerator here. Again, a lot of information here. But from my example, Adobe Campus Network segmentations. Customer can already request the sessions if they're not yet available, or if they have done any session that will, appear as my sessions over here. It's very simple as that.
And then the engineer in tech that gets this case immediately sees the entire environment, sees what devices we're talking about and which steps you've already taken.
It's not the tag, Stephen. So basically, it goes to the. So basically, it's a deployment scenario, right? For
Ah,
example, this
okay.
adoption of network segmentation. Sorry, adopt campus network segmentation is one of the use case. What happens is the request will come to our customer success team.
Uh-huh.
So they will arrange a subject matter expert to reach out. So if you see that questionnaire saying that, okay, when do you want the session? How many hours? I mean, how many participants are going to be there? Which is your location? So we reach out to the customer and arrange that particular session, which could be maybe a 4 hour session or 3 hour session spread over 1 or 2 days or 1 week, multiple half an hour, 1 hour session in a week. And we arrange the session as a one-on-one coaching session, right? It's considered as a knowledge transfer session, right? So now you're a design expert. You're trying to deploy that. You need some design guidance. You're getting that through our Cisco's expert, right? So that's the reason. So you mentioned tag. So tag is basically break fix. If you are only buying SmartNet today, they simply reject this request. But if you have success track, if the request is coming in, then the request will go to a separate team. They will reach out to you and provide you with the guidance. That's the
Wow.
difference here.
Yeah, and in the preparation for this, I read that already we have 130 different use cases for our customers, based on what customers want to achieve with our solutions and our software.
Yeah,
So really helping the customers through those steps, right?
absolutely, yeah.
So one more question. As you know, Cisco is a partner driven, a partner
Right.
leading organization. We do everything with our Cisco authorized partners. Um, how does this work with CX? Can a partner work with the customer? How does that work?
But you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course, Stephen, you're absolutely right. Our partner is also, critical, and there's a part of our key business for of course, for our customers. Partner can get the visibility of this CX Cloud platform. This is the CX Cloud platform. C is for a customer, right? So it's a platform for our customer, but they will be able to share the visibility through their partner as well, if their partner have been providing the support to them. Very easy and simple step. They can just give the access to their partner directly, and then they'll be able to see the information. Or on the other hand, for the partner that have customers that already have the CX Cloud, there is another platform which is also a powerful one called the PX Cloud. So the P is for partner. So the partner will be able to see the information of the customer through the PX Cloud. The benefit of that is that, for example, from our conversation earlier, on the accelerator, customer, you will be able to see where is the use case adoptions journey, which step our customer is at. So the partner will be able to see that information and might think, maybe my customer would have need some more additional sessions or something that they require based on the current adoption use case they are at right now. For example, they can add accelerator sessions directly from partners and offer that to the customers. So yeah, it's also the benefit for our partner to see the visibility of the CX Cloud, and for customer to have it. I wanted to mention one thing though, if I may, coming back from the information earlier. I would say in the organization, each of the tiles is not only for the engineers, right? For example, the adoption lifecycle may be more for the network engineer, but then the asset and the coverage could also be very useful for the procurement team, or the assets management or the operational team from customers' organizations. On the cases could also be very useful for the team that are supporting and following up on the day-to-day operational activity. So every single ties are offering and giving the visibility towards the whole organization of our customers, and not just only the IT part.
Just to add to that, Stephen, it's just we don't partner won't be able to access unless and until customer approve that access, right? So that's where Federa was showing that different access requests will come to the customer. Essentially, we're giving access to the customer, the CS Cloud, but they can delegate or provide additional access to the partners.
I did reach out to a few of our customers and partners and ask what they found of it, and this is their soundbite. I wish I had this when I was running networks as a network engineer and a network manager. That would really have made my life a lot easier. Yeah. So, is there a study or a report on how this benefits the total cost of ownership for our customers? ROI? Is there proof that this is really what's helping our customer in their daily business?
Another great question, Stephen. So we do have a study done by Forrester.
Okay.
Right? That's basically an external agency, and that the Forrester report is available on Cisco.com website if you search that, and we can share the link with the customer after the webinar. So they have done a study to identify what's the ROI, what's the amount of time the customer is seeing at different part of the operations, and how much that can be converted to from a dollar cost saving point of view. And also we have got plenty of feedback from different customers. So you see that some of the things on the slides, right? The Forrester, again, the multiple reports coming in different areas in terms of the savings, but like just simple example like asset lifecycle management, that is 96% reduction in terms of time. Wow. It's typically because instead of spending time on Excels and analyzing and manually going through it, we have a few clicks just to get those data done and just share that with the relevant team, right? So some of the other examples coming from the customers is that like the software version optimization, there's a 97% reduction again in terms of time spent. Right, so that's what Denso says, that right. So it all and these are all available on Cisco.com website, the case studies and detailed case studies as well. So different scenario for different customers. As I mentioned, we can share the Forrester report, or all those case studies are available online. But yeah, predominantly it is the customers are saving their time operationally and moving that time to something else, which is much more productive, and that's the power of CS Cloud.
Unbelievable. I'm super impressed. But Ranjit Patara, I'm still a salesperson at heart. Okay. So how do we quote this to our customers? How can our customers get access to CX Cloud?
Right. So for enterprise customers, they have two options, so choices for them to purchase SuccessTrack. Right? As we discussed in the beginning, the first slide, SuccessTrack is a replacement to our existing support services, which is SmartNet. So for enterprise customer, they can buy services through enterprise agreement format, which is basically they get access to CS Cloud and SuccessTrack.
It can be attached to any EA 3.0 enterprise agreement. Yes. Wow.
That's right. So essentially we are solving the contract, multiple contracts, right? So we're doing the contract consolidation. We are giving them the true forward benefits through the services CA, right? We are also giving those price protection, everything that we discussed in the first session. Yeah.
True forward is also applicable to services, to SuccessTracks?
Yes, absolutely. So they can SuccessTrack is a support services. So basically we are offering support services under the enterprise agreement format. So we get that the similar benefit of the enterprise agreement, which is contract consolidated. We just don't need to talk about software and services, two different agreements or multiple start and end date for different support contract. They get everything consolidated under one single contract. Plus they get true forward. Plus they get price protection and absolutely access to the CS Cloud. Right, that's one option. If the customer says, "Hey, look, I don't want to go with the enterprise agreement format for some reason," of course, they can buy through a la carte option, which is by every device, every time when they buy the hardware, they need to attach SuccessTrack instead of buy SuccessTrack instead of SmartNet technical support services. Or any renewal. The contract is coming up for renewal right now. instead of SmartNet renewal or any support service renewal, they can request for SuccessTrack option so that we can provide SuccessTrack to CS Cloud to those customers as well. So two options, essentially one is buying program, another is a like.
And so really, just to make sure, those success tracks can also be sold by the partner, through the partner, and with the partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only one answer to that. Yeah, I'm super impressed. You told me everything that I didn't know yet about the success tracks and how to get them. I've seen a great demo of CX Cloud, and I'm proud and honored that you do a live demo of the CX Cloud with this audience. For now, I'm gonna thank you, Ranjit and Pettara, because I think there's quite a few questions. I saw quite some questions coming in already on the chat. Are you ready to open the floor from some Q&A?
Absolutely.
All right. So before we go there, I want to highlight there is at least 2 more webinars coming up around the enterprise agreements. We're gonna dive into the advanced services that will be published, I think, in January or February. And we will do a deep dive on each of the steps from quoting an enterprise agreement all the way to being fully operational in EA Workspace. So stay tuned and keep an eye on your mailbox for the invites for those new webinars. For now, Ranjit, Pettara, thank you very much. This was awesome. And let's go back to the studio to answer some questions and answers from our beloved customers. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So basically, we are in the process of moving on to an enterprise agreement, and we basically just want to understand the process that's involved in moving on to this. We are part of the NHS Trust in the UK.
All right.
Our trust specifically is basically what I support. I'm the network manager. So we just basically want to get an idea, some guidance on the enterprise agreement process, how that basically works and what it entails.
Absolutely. So that's a pretty large question and an even larger answer. But what we need to have clarity on is what is your installed base? What is the coverage area that you want to have covered in an enterprise agreement? What architectures, what products and what product suites do you want to have covered? Because basically, the more architectures you're adding, the higher is going to be your discount, right? Buy more and save more. The best, we have a service available called Software Asset Management, where we can actually do a scan for you on your installed base to analyze all of your install base, and then you can make a decision which parts you want to have covered and which parts you don't want to have covered. But what is most important is to have the conversation with you and your team about what's the desired outcome. What is it that you want to achieve with your software, and then how are you going to get to that outcome, and which parts do you want to have covered by your own team, which parts is going to do through your Cisco partner, and which parts do you want to have covered through CX. And based on that, we can make you a quote. So what I would recommend you to do, Justus, is please use the contact form, and you can highlight my name in it, and we will reach out to you directly to get onto your situation and get you through the process.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steven. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. I also saw a question from Jeffrey Lee. While you're unmuting, Jeffrey, you're unmuted. Yes.
think I'm good. So sorry, I come with the hard questions often, but I had one for you about roadmap, and that is, do you have any insights of when PLSS is going to be available in the enterprise agreement or the CXEA? As of right now, we have been selling quite a few of these CXEAs, and it's a lot of fun, but it's also in direct competition with our partner support. So if the PLSS is going to be offered, then we kind of have a win-win situation.
Yes. So I'm not the subject matter expert on this particular topic. What I do know is that the success tracks are also designed to be sold with the partner, and that you can build your services on top of it. And I know that there's additional services being developed together with the partner organization. But if you want to do a deep dive on specifically PLSS and what's in the development for the partner on your advanced services to be combined with CX, we have to follow up on that one, because that is outside of my area of expertise. So, sorry for that.
All right, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. I see Bienboire raised the hand. Yeah, unmuted.
Yes, I have a question concerning the installation of the CX Cloud agent. If
Okay.
customer are some high-level security level, so this CX Cloud agent is only installed in the cloud or also on-premise, and does it how the compliance with the GDPR are managing today around that?
Okay.
Because there is some personal data in the CX Cloud or in the Pix Cloud. So just to high-level question around that.
Totally agree. So Ranjit and Patara, if you could, either one of you could answer that one, that would be great. On the GDPR side, I can answer that part. GDPR, the Global Data Protection Regulation, is crucial for our success. And any of these services that we are building and are available in Europe are compliant to the GDPR rules and regulations. So that part I can say for sure is covered. Patara or Ranjit, could either of you say something about the agent and cloud versus on-premises?
Okay, I'll go first, and Patara, if you please feel free to step in. So yeah, so right now what we have is the CS Cloud. We do have a CS Cloud instance available in Frankfurt, Germany. So we use CS Cloud Agent as a collector to snip the data and select, pull the only required data and put that into the CS Cloud. So we don't have an on-premises. While the data is on-premises, we will be collecting some of the information, which we do have the white paper available in terms of what kind of data that we collect. We don't collect any of the personal information from the network, but we are happy to share the details about what kind of data we collect and what purpose that we collect those data. Essentially to provide the contextual information, right, Stephen? So those information that we can share after the session. But yeah, so we do have the detail that we can share after the session.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Any other questions? I don't see any raised hands at this moment. So
Stephen, maybe we'll go. We've got a few still coming in the background, so maybe we'll pivot to some of these. And I'm going to try and pick the ones that are hopefully most relevant to the audience, and try and maybe bring a few together for some common themes. So one question is around what I actually cover. So this is from Brian O'Donoghue, and Brian asks, for customers who typically have not placed their access layer switches under service contract in the past, relying on warranty, and I'm assuming extended limited lifetime warranty, the requirement to apply CX to core distribution and access can exclude customers who only wish to cover core and distributions from a pricing perspective. So I'll re-summarize that to say, so when I buy Success Tracks, do I have to cover all of my solution with Success Tracks? And that's to Ranjit or Patara? Or can I just selectively cover devices that I want to have covered under the Success Tracks model?
Yes, you can choose a different architecture or the type of equipment that you would like to cover through the SuccessTracks. Yes.
So in Brian's example, if I had a customer who just wanted to cover their core switches with SuccessTracks and wanted to leverage the limited lifetime warranty on the access layer, that would be possible.
For the warranty, at the moment it's not available yet to cover into the SuccessTracks. Yeah, it's gonna have to be the SmartNet or the solution support. So today, if your equipment do have the warranty, that will not, unfortunately, will not be yet available for positioning SuccessTracks.
We could, but I guess to summarize that, if it's outside of the enterprise agreement as the route to market for coverage, we can be selective at the serial number level in how we quote and cover SuccessTracks, correct? Now, a couple of questions.
I would like to add one more thing, because there's a big change now in EA 3.0, because in the situation that Brian was describing, previously, and in all previous generations of the enterprise agreement, the minimum requirement was to have all the software on the Advantage layer. So on the Advantage level. So in a situation as Brian was just describing, what we see a lot in the world, but especially in Europe, I always call it the Dutch model, because it's cheaper, right? Is to have Advantage in the distribution layer and in the core, and then Essentials in the access layer. And that was a reason why a lot of our customers were not moving to enterprise agreements, because they said, well, simply migrating my access layer to Advantage, I don't have budget for that, so I'm gonna let go of the opportunity within EA. Now, thanks to the updates on EA 3.0, it is now fully supported and possible to have Essentials in the access layer and Advantage in distribution, Advantage in the distribution layer and the core, everything combined into one EA. And as Patara was saying, you can even make a selection on which parts you want to have covered with SuccessTracks and which parts not. So I think ready for the vast majority of our customers.
Fantastic. And one thing I did just want to pivot back to, there was a question in the chat during the presentation around why would I need CX Cloud if I've already got DNA and I've got a DNA Center appliance and I'm leveraging the telemetry from that. So Ranjith, could you maybe just help give what does CX Cloud give me more than what DNA already gives me today?
Right, Paul. So great question. So DNS Center is nothing but the controller, right? So to do the basic function and make the network operating. But what CS Cloud is a novel, as I mentioned, CS Cloud is a customer experience portal. We provide the access to open attack cases. We provide all the learning opportunities, adoption opportunities, whatever the DNS Center provides with the different use cases, how to utilize the use cases. That's information coming through CS Cloud, and not just the DNA related assets, even the enterprise-wide Cisco install base through the install base data or SSN coverage data. So it is much, and also all the intellectual capital coming from Cisco services based on the AI/ML that we develop. So two different functions. We still need DNS Center as a source of truth to collect some of the information and provide proactive and predictive information to the customer. But the function of CS Cloud is that's a typical customer experience portal.
Fantastic. So what I'm hearing there is DNS Center is really about managing the network. CX Cloud is more about the life cycle and helping you realize the value in the solution, which I think is a really key differentiator to why the power of them together is so significant. Alex asks, is this for our biggest customers? Is there a size limit to our customers? Who can we sell SuccessTracks to? Can we sell it to anybody? Can we just sell it to our large enterprise customers? Who's our target audience when it comes to SuccessTracks?
Doesn't matter, any customer. So Even if it's a couple of switches, a couple of devices, it doesn't matter. It's thousands of switches, thousands of devices, doesn't matter. It's for everyone.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to, there's a couple of questions came in. The services within the enterprise agreement piqued a lot of people's interest. So just want to reiterate two things. So when we buy SuccessTracks through the services a year, I get the benefit of the enterprise agreement, not just the services. Was I right when I heard that? Because that's significant, I think, for all of us here. And for second of all, so a few questions around actually the process of how I get the services into the enterprise agreement. Install base, serial numbers, it's messy, it's different to licensing. It's not a question we can answer in a couple of minutes, but Ranjith, maybe just how do I get my services into the enterprise agreement? Could you summarize just what the process would be there, or what my next steps would be?
Yeah. So if the customer is buying a software enterprise agreement, we have an option to add services for those software enterprise agreement. What we do is that we try to find out what the customer install base look like and provide come up with a relevant SuccessTrack proposal for that particular customer. I do agree there could be a chance that we see a discrepancy in terms of the customer data and what we see in our install base. We can work through each and every customer or the partner with that specific opportunity, and we'll come up with the right install base data for every customer. So in certain scenarios, it may take some bit of a time, which is understandable. But yeah, that we go through the process to really understand the customer install base, and then come up with the right the proposal and process for the customer to add the services.
And to add to that, by the way, while I'm talking, could you unmute Bien Boire, please, for me? Yep. To add to that, we have a service that is very much appreciated by our customers that are especially in larger, complicated, and multiple location environments. That service is called Software Asset Management, and that is basically for you collecting an overview of everything that you have and what's expiring and when to get you onto the services EA much faster. Bien Boire, the audio is unmuted.
Yes, I'm here. So maybe I missed the information during the presentation, but there is two levels of SuccessTrack, level 1 and level 2. For CX Cloud is automatically included with level 1, or the customer have to buy level 2 to have an access to CX Cloud? It's not very clear for me the main difference with level 1 and level 2, in fact.
Thanks for the question. So when the customer buys SuccessTrack, it doesn't matter whether it's level 1 or level 2, the customer would get access to the CS Cloud. So there's no issue between level 1 and level 2 here. And obviously there's going to be a difference in terms of the deliverables between level 1 and level 2, which we can share a detailed analysis or a comparison between level 1 and level 2. But like, for example, Accelerator is one of the deliverable or insights and analytics style, which we discussed, is a level 2 feature as compared to level 1. That's that's what we show on the level 2 CS Cloud.
So the main difference is only with the accelerators?
Not just that. I just give an example of an accelerator. The insights and analytics style that we discussed, one of the 5 tiles, that is also part of level 2.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if you want, you can use the contact form to reach out to us, and we can set up a
call to deep dive with this.
Yes, yep. And then we can show you the examples and the differences.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions from our live audience that you want to do on the audio? Otherwise, we will do 1 or 2 more from the chat.
Let's just, as we're waiting, Stephen, let's maybe go back to a question that was asked towards the beginning. So I heard SuccessTracks and I heard solution support. So is SuccessTracks just another name for solution support, Ranjith?
It's an evolution of our support services, and SuccessTrack includes solution support, but SuccessTrack is not just solution support. SuccessTrack has got solution support and also access to CS Cloud. With access to CS Cloud, customer get access to the export resources, customer get access to open attack case from CS Cloud, insights and analytics, and also the install base data and the contextual information about install base data. So it's much more than solution support. So it's solution support plus access to CS Cloud. That's what.
So as a customer, my TAC experience is a solution support TAC experience, but I then get the power of CX Cloud with the visibility, the telemetry, the insights, the AI, machine learning, analytics. Yep. So solution support is just the foundation of SuccessTrack. Fantastic. So that brings us to the top of the hour. Stephen, Luis, have we got any other questions coming in? If not, we can wrap up. If we didn't get to any of your questions live, don't panic. We will make sure we get back to you all one by one. Every question will be answered. And as Stephen mentioned, look at the links. There are ways to follow up with us. We can have offline discussions if and when you need to really get into the detail. So thanks for the questions. It shows you were all listening because they were all very relevant to our speakers.
Absolutely. All right. I think, as you said, we are at the top of the hour. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. It was fun, interactive, valuable content. You learned something new. And I hope that you will come back to us in the following webinars that we have planned. So thank you very much. Please use the evaluation form. Please contact us with any additional questions, and please sign up to the community to stay up to date on any upcoming webinars. And with that, thank you very much for your time. And Pettara, Ranjit, it was an honor to have you with us. And Luis, Anna, thank you for organizing it all and project managing. And Paul, thank you as a great Q&A moderator. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.